A man comes to a brothel. You know that little hole they used to fill up the ball? It should work for you. I'm feeling stupid. What is the significance of saying each line twice? I don't get it. I don't get it. Please explain. Huh? How is a pink ball exotic? How does this joke have any updates? There is nothing funny or clever about it. Explain it to me. Oh damn. Good one. Persistence. Apparently only dogs can hear this punchline. If you can fit your thing in that little hole, maybe you should keep that information to yourself. LOL. 2. A man comes in a brothel. That's it. Bartender walks into a church. Punchline should have been say 5 Hail Marys and sin no more. You gotta end it with a rote platitude, my dude. As a Catholic, I heartily endorse your version of this joke. Alternate response. Yeah. Hey. S a tangy fruit. 6 letters, starts with an O. Saw that were you saying course I understand. We are all here under the wings of angels. Good old joke. Real joke is in the was this post about again? Those aren't bui. Sounds like the priest and the bartender are in the same boat. Maybe they should switch places for a day. The priest could serve some heavenly spirits, and the bartender might find some divine inspiration in the confessional. Smiley face. Good one. Daughter texted me this in the morning. I can't wake up this morning. Feel like a bicycle. Well ridden, village bicycle. Everyone gets to ride. Rode hard, well oiled and ready to go. I don't know bro. I'm not sure too many dads want to joke about their daughter being a bicycle, you know, ridden hard and put to bed dirty. Having anxiety, so I saw a psychiatrist. He took one look at me, said, "You're a teepee. You're a wigwam. You're too tense." Crazy that kids these days can text in their sleep. Deflated. Got ridden all over town. She must be someone's grandmother. Are kids still riding bikes today? I want to tell a joke about African countries, but I can't think of any. Namibia another time. For now you're gonna have to come with your own. We can't go around and around with this. You gonna be kidding me. I can never get enough of North African individual-sized breads while I listen to 1950s pop music. I always want Moroccan roll. I'm gonna come to the rescue. Maybe it'll come to you Sudanly. Take these Africa jokes and stuff them up Djibouti. Djibouti better be grateful. I don't have time. I have to go to work. Why did the lion always lose at poker in Africa? He was always playing with cheetahs. I laughed so hard I peed my pants. The thing these jokes have in common is incontinence. Sure, I'd love to be a Chad. You can research some in the Liberia. I mess like Egyptus. I'm gonna try to think of one, but Uganda give me some time. Did you know there are no cases of demonic possession in us because they bless the rains down in Africa? Indonesia is the 4th most populous country in the world, but you really don't hear that much about it. It's also the country with the largest Muslim population, but when people think large concentrations of Muslims they think Middle East. And Pakistan is the S quite high up too, and we don't hear much on it either. They produce more plastic waste than any other single country, for some reason. Do you know how many fucking people are in Indonesia? Logan Roy. If you live in Australia, every second person seems to go there on holiday, because it doesn't have any influence or effect on world politics or world trade. I don't know if there is anything much I know about the country other than that it is an Islamic nation too. I was there a few years ago, and I was really impressed about how little they produce in terms of modern culture or place where I've been. Was playing Western media, movies or music. Makes them the Gen X of countries. My wife tells me she has bad genes. I told my doctor I knew I was going to die. I said death runs in the family. All my ancestors are dead. Few people are able to appreciate the beauty of dad jokes. Maybe someday she'll see the light. LOL. Can I see your cardigan? Your payment was declined. That's hilarious and totally something I would do. Kudos. It's probably the Wranglers. They never fit properly. Ow, up is in the hospital. This was literally a dad joke. Does her bum look big in them? Comedy gold right there. Good hygiene might run in your family. Show her who wears the pants in this relationship and tell her to stop fucking crazy McBain. I don't get it. Imagine marrying someone who cries laughing at their own joke for 10 minutes. I plugged her in and the front fell off or dropped or something. Could someone explain please? NSFW. What do women say when they see a really big dick? I may not reach the bottom of a tuna can, but I can certainly touch the sides. I don't claim to have a big dick, I get told I have one. Thanks again mom, I got a 6-foot dick at home. Has turned 19 and all he does is complain and eat my food. Nothing, it's rude to talk with our mouths full. What idiot selected him? Well damn. Flushed face. I didn't know that they came in white too. Holy shit, I thought you said it was like a baby's? No, I said it was the size of a baby. Nice BMW. Not much. They usually hug me. Not my case, but a friend of mine has an enormous thing down s, not usually happiness. They have it. My thing is wide. So girls say I never seen that wide before. Only the guys who know about the barcodes on condoms can answer. It depends on if the lady is from Texas, Lamau, or angry upvote. Till Canton Avenue in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is the steepest officially recorded street in the United States, boasting a 37 grade in its hill, and they make it part of a bike race every year. Why? Because harden the fuck up, that's why. Honey, let's make love. I forgot to lock the wheels on the baby stroller again. Baldwin Street in Dunedin, New Zealand is only 35 degrees, but it also has one confirmed kill drunken wheelie bin ride gone awry in 2001. Edit 35 not egg. Believe me, Pittsburgh was a rough place to learn to drive a stick. Stop using my address as a reference. Homeowner, till Emperor Justinian II 685-695 and 705-711 was overthrown in a rebellion and had his nose cut off to prevent him from ever ruling again. However, he managed to return to power in 705 with a prosthetic old nose and took his revenge on those who had deposed him. Also had an absolutely badass. When returning to Constantinople by sea, his ships were caught in a storm. One of his attendants said he should vow to God that he would be merciful to his enemies if God would make the storm, said if I spare a single one of them, may God drown me here. Is there, like, a nose check before you become emperor? They cut his nose off to spite his face, but he managed to return to power despite his face. Justinian II, also known as the slit nose. Don't you mean to nosed him? Lol. How did he smell? Terrible. But just on day one. Till the Pontiac Aztec was universally disliked by focus groups. One respondent even said, I wouldn't take it as a gift. GM continued to press forward with the Aztec's design despite the negative reception. The GM machine was in such denial that it rejected the research and just said, what do those a-holes know? The Aztec died so all of today's crossovers could live. Wasn't this Walter White's car? She's built like a steakhouse, but she handles like a bistro. I own one. Bought it new. It was great on gas, spacious, and it wasn't a minivan, which was great. We never had a problem with it either. It was dependable and handled great in the snow. The 2020 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross kind of looks like the Aztec. I actually like these cars for some reason. I know, I should be stoned in public, etc. And now we have the Cybertruck. Till a pregnant employee at a Christian school was fired for having premarital sex. The school subsequently offered a job to the man who had gotten her pregnant. She sued and it looks like they settled. Her boyfriend did not take the job and later married her. Fired for having premarital them to prove it. Because canonically there's at least one exception to their assumption here. Nope. Violation of medical sovereignty, and the boyfriend refused the job, married her, they sued, and the school settled. Shameful and moronic, but with a clear message: women don't count. Sue the fuck out of them. Only women are shamed for having pre-martial sex. Men get a pass because you shouldn't have opened your legs and testosterone makes them horny. Religion is typically misogynistic. It's because they don't like that women can have premarital sex. They don't care if men do. Checks out. There is a whole bunch of stupid at Catholic schools and private schools. That tracks. Till of Dr. Benjamin Spock, a pediatrician whose 1946 book Baby and Child Care is one of the best-selling books of the 20th century. His then unconventional advice to parents to show affection to their children and to see them as individuals revolutionized how parents raise their children. His advice. Unionically, Spock's theories were not universally accepted and were criticized by some of his colleagues and conservatives for being too permissive, and problem is with too permissive, because many parents justify the abuse and trauma they cause their kids to suffer under the pretext of being tough on them. If kids are not individuals, what are they? We do this and treat our kids like people. Shocking. But it does seem to work. My dad said that when my sister was a toddler they had no idea how to handle her, so they rushed out to buy this book. He also said the only way it worked was by throwing it at her. I assume he's joking, but she does have a weird shaped gun in her head. Till over 600 US planes crashed in a remote region of the Himalayas whilst delivering supplies to Chinese forces over the hump. My neighbor of 30 years was one of these pilots. He said they burned something like 20 gallons of fuel for every gallon delivered, but the effort was vital. He lost a lot of friends over there. The flights, often navigated by young and freshly trained such extreme terrain. This was a daring airlift operation called the Air Transport Command that ran from 1942 to 1945. The hump, a treacherous mountain range between India and China, was the only route by which supplies could be delivered to the Chinese forces fighting against Japan. In tribute to the huge number of American pilots who died flying the hump to deliver vital supplies to the Chinese resistance against Japan, they named a Kunming hostel the Hump Hostel, in which many American backpackers have humped these past decades. 3 men are going to get locked away for 10 years. The third man only needed to throw 1 cigarette out of the cell and then the whole cell would become a cigarette lighter. Roughly 3 gallons, or 24 pints, for the purpose of the joke. A really good number. Very very high for a regular person but still not completely impossible. Ziggurats. First one possibly condemned 10 other people with him. In which case they would not have been kind to him. Did they give the second person a bottle opener? Are these people getting locked away because they are criminals? What Asian stereotype do you hear the most? It took me a moment to realize this was a joke sub. I was busy thinking of the answer. Oh, I'm deaf. I don't hear anything. That's a sound joke. Upvoted. Aya. Sony is too expensive. I got best deal at Asian night markets. I bought legitimate soyvi for half price. I begrudgingly give you an upvote for this one. Because you got me. Even after I noticed the misspelling of stereotype. Well played. I'm a fan of Panasonic. They made good bicycles one too. I'm giving you a gold star for this one. I give this joke a 7.1. This post is definitely in the right sub. I am pure dad joke now. I thought it was a serious question and came straight into right Sony. I am both proud I have graduated, but disappointed I didn't get my diploma on the stage. Panasonic. Still listen to it every day. Yamaha's. Is it good at math? What is something good going on in the world that a lot of people aren't aware of? Global efforts to reforest areas are making a significant impact. Many endangered animal species are on the rebound now, such as the bald eagle, humpback whales and Scouse swallowtail butterflies, due to increased conservational efforts. The ozone layer is thickening. They're successfully rewilding beavers in the UK. Sodium-ion batteries might start replacing lithium-ion batteries soon, which would be much better for the environment and generally cheaper or more convenient. CRISPR treatment has just been FDA approved to cure sickle cell disease. David Attenborough's still healthy. Medicine and treatment for many ailments has progressed through the years, improving quality and quantity of life. The expansion of renewable energy sources. Many countries are making big moves with wind and solar power. It's a positive development for the environment in the future, even if it doesn't always receive widespread attention. What movie is totally stupid or makes no sense, but people act like it's really deep? According to Elaine Benesch, The English Patient. The Secret. In this thread, people who are confused by the question, Eat Pray Love. Do I just not understand what deep means? Because aside from The English Patient, none of the top answers in this thread are widely considered deep. Hell, American Sniper is near the top and it's about as deep as a bird bath. Crash the Racist One. Not the car sex one. Into the Wild. I cried when I watched it 10 years ago because he killed himself by being selfish and foolish. The Butterfly spends 100 minutes on pseudo-philosophical nonsense and 10 minutes of Deus Ex Machina type fluff. I left the theater hating it. Still mad 20 years later. Lucy. That shit is utter trash, no matter what the Rotten Tomatoes score says. What's a dead giveaway that someone was emotionally abused as a kid? They flee immediately when presented with emotionally difficult situations. Independent to a point where it cripples their ability to form close relationships. Unable to take any criticism because it reminds them of being criticized for no reason. Not being able to tell how you feel or what you want because you learned that these things don't matter. Assuming every person who's acting like they care about them will eventually betray them. Sorry, so sorry. Sorry. Hyper-independency. You have to become everything for yourself when you don't have someone to lean on. Ninja steps. People are constantly commenting about how you're sneaking up on them when you feel you're just walking normally. What's one food everyone seems to go crazy for, but you just don't understand the hype? Well, people are following the assignment, because this is just a big list of foods I like. Can it be a beverage? Cause I kind of hate IPAs, but everyone else seems to love them, and I like beer, just not IPAs. Crumble cookies. Energy drinks like Red Bull or Monster. Pumpkin spice. It's fine, but absolutely not anything to make a fuss about. Kombucha. The McRib. Vomiting face. Aussie here. Oreos. May. There's plenty of way better biscuits around. Red velvet cake. I've had ones that were supposed to be excellent, but it's just red cake. Hot Cheetos or Takis. Anything with the artificially colored spicy powder. Those multicolored cookie things that everyone was making into cakes or something for a while. Macaroons? I don't think I've ever had one that tasted good. They're pretty, but that's it. What's one thing that sobered you up real quick? Flashing blue lights. Was on a bar crawl party bus. I was definitely feeling it by the third bar. That's when one of my friends got stabbed outside by a homeless person begging for money. I've never been sober quicker than when I saw my friend with a belly full of blood. He was eventually okay, but damn. Got out of a taxi and found a naked man profusely bleeding from his head crawling up the driveway in my condo. Called him an ambulance, completely forgot I was absolutely wasted until 45 minutes later when I'd helped him translate and into an ambulance and stepped in my front. A few days later learned he'd slipped in the tub and literally crawled out for help. Poor dude. He was fine, but I genuinely thought he was going to die there. What's the biggest age difference between you and a hookup kissing or more? I was 22 and hooked up a few times with a 45-year-old woman. A couple years later I was dating this girl my own age for a while before she cheated on me with this dude that had the same last name as that older woman. Turned out it was her son. You bet your ass I made it known to my now ex-girlfriend and the dude she cheated with that I banged his mom. I was 6 and the couch pillow was 19, me 26 her 52. I was delivering beds. I delivered. On her bed. When I was 18 I slept with a 40-year-old multiple times. Still some of the best sex in my life. What's the most absurd porn dialogue you can remember? Girl fuck me in the ass. Guy you know. Cameraman John please. Two stepdaughters walk in the room. Hey stepdad, we know you said we need to learn to share more, so we talked about it and we're going to share your load. I'm not at the beach, this is a bathtub, but I poop from there. Not right now you don't. Two girls. Lana Rhodes and August Ames RIP. Lana but I'm straight. August so is spaghetti. Until it's wet. I love you. That's gay. I'm literally 9 inches in you right now. Evan Stone walks into a room and asks what's going on. The girls answer that they are having a butt tasting convention. He then says well, my minor in college was butt tasting, but it's been a while since I've hit the books. I heard that said in 2002 and I still remember it ha 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 ha. You look less suspicious walking at night if you have a dog with you. But does walking a cat make you look more or less suspicious? Does it matter whose dog it is? Does walking at night make you look suspicious? Yes, I am aware of that as I shuffle down the street in my ratty sweatshirt, PJ pants, and Crocs begging my poodle to just pick a spot. Definitely not at all intimidating. As an adult male the feeling that there are 3 reasons a man may walk in the neighborhood. 1 walking dog. 2 obviously running for exercise or walking with wife. 3 sex offender. I'm 6, wear all black for work, and have to walk my black GSD pit bull at night. Am I suspicious? Corollary: a dog looks less suspicious walking at night if he has a human with him. I guess. Walking at night doesn't inherently make you look suspicious, though. What critically acclaimed movie is hated now? Song of the South won Oscars and had one of the most iconic Disney songs in the last half of the 20th century. Now Disney has more or less scrubbed it completely from availability. The Blind Side, The Birth of a Nation, was an American Sniper critically acclaimed until they found out the guy made a bunch of it up. Crash the Paul Haggis one. The English, Elaine. Rolling Eyes Face. Added for those who don't know. Shakespeare in Love. I've heard people call Forrest Gump a boomer fanfiction. I still like it. Blue is the warmest critically acclaimed for being a queer movie in an industry where there were very few. Then it turned out the director dude made it a nightmare for the leads to work in it. And this is not an unpopular opinion anymore, but the explicit scenes in the movie come across as porn, and TBH it comes off a more hypersexualized depiction of lesbians than celebration of a lesbian love story.